Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the Toys Alliance Mega Action Series Megatron figure, which goes with that giant Optimus Prime figure we looked at, what was that, about a year ago now? And this thing is just massive. It's absolutely huge, so this review is going to be a slightly different format. I'm standing next to the table. There's no way I could handle this and sit behind the camera at the same time. So we're just going to kind of dive right into it. First thing we need to show you, of course, is the height on this guy, and he is just about 18.5 inches, and that's going to make him just about 47 centimeters. Now, this guy, just like Optimus, he does have a lot of, let's say, not the best quality plastic. It's a lot of the cheaper plastic. It doesn't feel like a high quality figure. However, it does look pretty good for the most part, though there are some definite issues which I'm going to have to point out. Overall, I want to make it clear that I think the paint job is pretty good. He's particularly shiny. I mean, it's a nice, almost like a matte or flat metallic silver, which looks good. It catches the light well. And there's lots of little bits of detail throughout. You can see, especially on his legs, we have a lot of red and gold and black, and that's pretty good. There's a little bit of this white powdery stuff on here, though. It's not just dust. I don't know what it is, but I don't like that it's on there, but luckily it mostly comes off. See, that's like one of the things I'm talking about. It's not, the level of finish is not great on this guy. And I think that's something you're just going to have to live with if you want to buy it, because you're getting such a figure for not that much money, honestly. So, I don't know. I'm willing to live with it. I don't know how many of you guys are going to be, but that's the way it goes. They did do a good job with what they painted. You can see the Decepticon logo on there is very nice and crisp and clean. And as I mentioned, there's some just red and gold and black just kind of spread throughout the figure. Not a ton, but definitely enough. It looks alright. No real issues with that. And here's the thing that stands out the most on this guy, other than the fact that it lights up, which we will talk about. His articulation's really good, especially for such a big, bulky thing. For the neck, we have a couple of different ball pegs, so the head just moves around really well. Pretty much however you want to pose it, you can pose it. And this thing comes off on the chest. I don't know, is that a thing? Like, I don't know, I'm not a big G1 fan. I don't remember most of it, honestly. I haven't rewatched it in forever, so I don't know. But his chest piece does come off and reveal some innards, so that's the thing if you like that. The shoulders, they can extend if you want a little extra range, so that's always good. But you also have a butterfly joint, which lets the arm come forward and back, which is very, very nice. Tons of range there. Then you have a ratchet to bring the arm all the way up to the side. Tons of range there, all the way down. And it's ratcheted going forward as well. And you get full range. So, you know, you really can't get better shoulder articulation than that. It's just absolute maximum posability. You do have a swivel for the bicep, and then you have double jointed elbows. So there's the first joint, and then the second joint pulls out of the top. So you get basically as much range as you possibly can get out of articulation, and they did it on these big bulky figures. For the hands, you get a big ball peg that lets the entire hand move around in every direction, and then each finger has individual hinges for all the different knuckles, and they are connected each on a ball peg as well. So you can spread those fingers out if you want to, do whatever you really want, and it's no problem at all. I mean, that's one of the benefits of having a big bulky figure. You can pack in all the different finger articulation you want. So that's very nicely done. I really like that. A couple of them seem to be a little bit floppy. Not the best situation, I guess. But yeah, that one got really floppy after posing it. That's kind of a bummer. I don't like that at all. I wonder if they're all like that. It seems to only be the big knuckle that's doing it. Yeah, that's a bummer. For the torso, you do have a waist twist. So full waist twist. And then you also have a hinge in it that lets him lean forward by lifting the back of the figure up. So that's pretty cool. All of the skirt armor, they are just flaps, so they'll get out of the way for the hips. And then the hips have a ton of range. So they go all the way forward on a ratchet. Basically full range. And they can hold themselves up, so that's pretty good. Back flaps. And going all the way backward. Again, no problem. Going out to the side. No problem. It's funny that the hips have no problem holding themselves up, but the fingers got floppy. You do have a thigh swivel for either leg. It's a little limited just based on the fact that the plastic's bumping into itself, but still works. And then for the knees, you have a double jointed knee, just like the elbow. Really good range, not floppy at all. And then for the ankles, we do have a bit of an issue. You have a big ankle rocker, which is just a big hollow space, which isn't the best design at all. And then as far as the hinge goes, it's pretty minimal. You have one notch going forward and a couple going back. So back's okay, but going forward, very minimal. So it's going to be a little tricky to pose this guy sometimes, just because his ankles are so severely ratcheted and there's not a lot of in-between space. You're going to have to do a lot of the posing for the legs in the upper knee in order to get him to balance properly. But otherwise, it's pretty solid. I think it's pretty darn good. And as far as lights go, he doesn't come with batteries, unfortunately. That's a shipping issue. But he does have light-up eyes, so you can press this button back here, and his eyes light up. And I'll show you more clearly in the photos at the end. So his eyes do light up very nicely. I'm very pleased with that. And then, of course, his cannon lights up on his arm, which is a separate piece. And this lights up very nicely as well. So this just has a button here, and it lights up on the side. You can see the purple there. And then, of course, in the front. And again, I'll show you this more in the photos at the end. But yeah, it's not a perfect figure by any means. But I think for the price point, it's definitely worth picking up, especially if you're a Transformers fan. How can you not want, I know it doesn't transform, I get that, but how can you not want a giant Megatron figure? I mean, they're supposed to be big, so why not buy a big one? That's why I have it, and I'm very pleased with it. Definitely has some issues, but I'm willing to look past those for the sake of having a giant Megatron figure. So if you want to do that, that's totally up to you. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up almost every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And in the meantime, keep collecting.